This is Music is a Day Job. I'm your host, Sean, and Music is a Day Job is brought to you by the Concert app. Now, the question of the day is it better to focus on a small group of super fans or a big audience? Now, contrary to popular belief, a lot of people will say the big audience because what they're trying to do is they're trying to get in front of tons of national shows, everything like that. But then what you're doing is you're trying to sway the minds of huge audiences of people. Now, unless you can pretty much guarantee your people like the level of talent like of a Michael Jackson, MC Hammer, like your performance levels are super high, then it's hard to sway a lot of people and then be able to know who those people are. And this is why this is the problem, is because you have to look over in like turnover rates. If I perform in front of 15,000 people, how many people are actually going to see the performance, then get online and add my page? And now I know a lot of people can say this because like there's a lot of artists that have done tons of national shows. How many people actually got back online? And then how many people even remembered to let the crowd know somehow where to follow them or their exact name to make sure all this happens? So then there's steps to this. So then when you're looking at big audiences, how are you making the turnover of them to become your fan? Now, when you deal with super fans, what happens is they end up being like the converts for you. Like they go get other people because what they do is they're hyping you all the time. So if they're happy, then you can gain more fans because they're going to make you look more famous than the big audiences will. Now, see, I always tell people this story is like when I went into doing it was called All Stars, and All Stars is very similar to like a summer jam where the it's at a place called Fiddlers and it's 15,000 people, and you're on the lineup with tons of famous acts, national acts. Um, you either open the night or you're second in the night. It's probably like five artists on it, and the headliner is probably like a huge artist. At one point, we had I think back in the day, Game was one of the headliners. Like Wiz Khalifa was one of the headliners. Like people like that. And but it has other top artists, so it'll be like Game, Migos, Ludacris, and then like but you're in the stack, so it makes you look a certain way. Inside that, these are big audiences, but where I'm talking about when I say focusing on your super fans, when I got to this point the first time, I'm at like a high point of super fans because I've already headlined big places that are 1,000 people, and so I'm at a space where my super fans are probably like out of the 1,000 that'll come see me, I'd say my super fans will probably be like 300 that are people that will come to every show that I do. Now, when they all come to the 15,000 person show, they had like I have video of it. They have like bandanas that say TFE on it, everything. They have them wrapped around their face. They have all this stuff. They have the merch and everything. So we sold merch that night and made money because people were wanting the merch that people already had from the old shows. So like we're able to sell merch to the 15,000 people. On top of that, these people are screaming the songs. So what happens is when you had focused on that small group of people, now when I get in front of tons of people, they're looking around like, why don't I know these guys? Because why everyone's screaming the stuff. Just by chance, inside Fiddlers, like, so if you ever look at those big like open roof like auditoriums, you have like the grass in the back, like what they call the cheap seats or whatever like that. Like you have the grass in the back. There's a lot of people that I know that are back there. However, just by chance, there's these VIPs that are like, it like comes down out of the grass. There's seats. Then there's like VIPs. Then there's the bottom seats that are like the front row. But the VIPs are like these tables that have like groups of people at them. Just by chance, two out of the I think it's like six, two out of the 6 or 8 VIPs are top flight people, and they're wearing the full outfits. And they're chanting the songs. So they can be seen almost the most because they have like the VIP slots. And they're screaming top flight, whatever. And those are my super fans. So they're converting tons of other people to go. So then when I went back through the crowd, like, cause I came out and went, well, me and Brian, we went out to the crowd after, and it was easy to get people then to convert over and like add our IG right there, because we're talking to everybody. Add our IG, give you a phone number, whatever, boom, boom, boom. We're gonna be over here later tonight and stuff like that. Because we had a show that same night where we were headlining that was just downtown from that place, and we were gonna go headline over there and did another like 500 over there, just us. So then what we're doing is we're just converting people in that, but then it's because we focused on that small fan group to make them be so excited that then when we went to the big audiences, it helps versus just going to big audiences. Because if you go to big audience, now you have to have something that makes people believe this. I've been to places where I've been in a big audience. When I first did 420 back in the day was around like 60,000 people. When we first did 420, we weren't really like, we just became a group. And so we didn't really have much music out. We hadn't pushed that much. So then when we first did it, we were in front of 60,000 people and nothing. Because what happens is, yeah, maybe a couple people might see you, they might cross over. But back then, like social media wasn't as crazy. So then people had to add you on Facebook. And it was just kind of like, and you didn't even have like your group name on Facebook because they didn't have music pages. It was just your personal page. So then it's just under your artist name or whatever at that point, because you didn't have to use your real name. And it just wasn't much of a like turnover. So you're just doing these to like, you're hitting big audiences, but you're not going to get it. And even if you went out there to grind, it took a lot because you had to find ways to get people to be like, yo, I like it, whatever, or pay attention to you, because they're waiting to pay attention to somebody else or something else. So, but as I said, focus on those small groups and make those small groups stronger. Add one by one, get them to a good size, and then when you take them to the big audiences, it's easier to turn over and make that transition to build more fans. This has been Music is a Day Job. I'm your host, Sean, and this is brought to you by the Qoncert app.